I'm David Liggett with Data Center Hawk, and I am joined with Russell Cozart, Senior Vice President of Product and Market Strategy with Cyxtera, and we're talking about the data center industry next.
Hey, I'm David Liggett with Data Center Hawk. Focused on cloud and co-location, data center industry trends, and dynamic market.
Well, I'm David Liggett with Data Center Hawk, and I am here with Russell Cozart. Russell is Senior Vice President of Marketing and Product Strategy with Cyxtera. Russell, thanks so much for joining us. We're excited to get to talk with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Before we jump into our discussion, would love to get your background. You have an extensive, background in the data center industry, as well as just from a technology perspective. So tell us about your background and what led you to this role with Cyxtera.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been in the industry about 15 years, got in right about the time we were trying to explain to the world what cloud was. Started with data center managed hosting company Terramark. Some people are familiar launching our enterprise cloud product, which was really the enterprise answer to AWS's commodity public cloud. And spent several years there until that company was sold to Verizon in 2011. And then from there, I spent some time launching Dell's VMware-based cloud offering, and then ultimately to VMware to launch the vCloud Air product at VMware. So spent my time there, and then most recently before Cyxtera, I was at GE. And I owned the GE Digital's portfolio of cloud hosting, physical server infrastructure, a portfolio of about $800 million in revenue for the business. And got the call a little over 3 years ago about what Cyxtera was doing. A lot of the old leadership from Terramark, which at its core was an innovative company, and they were bringing that vision to bear. And at Cyxtera, and so I absolutely couldn't miss that. So came and helped launch what we're doing here at Cyxtera about 3 years ago now.
Well, that's awesome. So tell us about you mentioned going from GE to helping with Cyxtera and kind of the beginning of this company that acquired the CenturyLink assets and really launched their company 3 or 4 years ago. Just talk about that and some of the products that you all brought to the market, maybe what you're spending your time on today.
Yeah, absolutely. Initially, Cyxtera, not a household name. CenturyLink, definitely a household name. We were a combination of Medina Capital's for small disruptive cybersecurity software companies and the venture with VC partners to acquire the CenturyLink data center asset. So, first thing out of the gate, we really focused on, becoming Cyxtera and really educating the market about, Cyxtera as a company, who we were, what we were doing. And the primary focus around the development of the company was how do we make and deliver data center products and services better and faster? And, in an industry where there really hadn't been much innovation in the past 20 years, how do we expand and grow on that? And so there were a lot of themes, a lot of stories that we were weaving together. And it's been a journey the past 3 years, really taking a look at what we were doing and at the market and our customers, and really trying to define how we really deliver the core value that we wanted to deliver with a combination of innovation and the stability and resiliency that customers had come to know with the CenturyLink data center asset. So it's been a 3 years that's some days it feels like it's been 3 hours and sometimes 30 years. So it's a great journey that we've been on. I think we've made a lot of progress really driving and getting back to our core innovation So most recently, we split out the the cybersecurity software companies from the data center business, primarily to allow those to operate still same ownership, but two different stories really, and two different core value props, two different sets of customers. So that allows us who are on the data center side to really focus on delivering the world-class data center innovative experience for enterprise customers.
Yeah, that makes sense. What are some of the trends that you see taking place today that you're basing that innovation off of?
Yeah, there are a couple of trends we started knowing and understanding, and then some that obviously have just come to fruition. First and foremost was the enterprise paradigm of resource consumption. So if you think about the traditional IT infrastructure leaders and CIOs that are thinking about the mandates that started as cloud first and have evolved into cloud smart, and then the idea around going on their the digital transformation journey. People are very used to today the point click and provision, instant access to resources. Utility-based billing, consumption-based billing, OpEx spend, shrinking capital budgets, these things that have led to public cloud seeming at first to be the right alternative for everything, right? As enterprises are, even most recently, we've seen that, the enterprise data center is shrinking. CIOs are looking at ways to shrink those footprints, and when they look at the new paradigms of consuming resources to replace that, that isn't something that's traditionally found in a data center. So that trend has been, how do we align our products and services with that more modern paradigm? And then obviously, with the COVID pandemic this year, we've really begun to see the trends that had started in, the cloud first digital transformation begin to accelerate. And as CIOs are looking at the next 12 months, the next 36 months, what they had planned for maybe 60 months, they're really starting to think about, this has got to go faster. I need to move faster. Yeah. And so that's really, some of the core trends that have been shaping the way that, we're tailoring what we're bringing to market.
Yeah, you mentioned COVID-19, and it obviously has had, an impact not just on the data center industry, but the world. How do you think that will play out, maybe the rest of 2020 and beyond? And I know this is a bit, looking towards the future, but, you mentioned that digital transformation and how fast it has come about for some companies that certainly weren't planning to speed that up this year. Talk about maybe what you think how that will play out the rest of the year, and then, 2021 and its impact on the data center industry specifically.
Yeah, I think the general premise of some of the the objectives that were on CIO mandates, some of those priorities are remaining the same, just accelerated. And so I think what we'll see is the an accelerated evolution of. There's still a need to be close to infrastructure, to have that control, to have that security. I think we'll begin to see really the things that we've been talking about for several years. The hybrid IT strategy. We'll continue to see that the priority begin to surface even further to the top. So I think that as they're looking to pull back and thinking about their workforce, the changing workforce becoming more remote, I think that's a trend that's likely not just to be for this period during lockdowns and social distancing, but trends that we'll see continue well into the future as we begin to see that there's a new normal, right? So it's not just a temporary new normal. There is some portion of this that is going to change the way that we do business going forward. And I think from a digital economy perspective, we're going to see the trajectory, it's hockey sticking in the trend we were already seeing. We'll see that continue to accelerate. I think that getting out of enterprise data centers, looking for hybrid IT solutions, the combination of public cloud and co-location. I think we'll see that accelerate. But CIOs and infrastructure leaders are looking for partners that can go with them on that journey, right? That can be that partner during these times. So I think those are trends that we'll continue to see at just an accelerated pace.
Yeah, one of the things you said that I thought was really good was, the enterprise users, that customer that is needing someone to walk alongside them in the journey, because you just don't know what's coming as a company that's out there trying to determine your IT infrastructure strategy, because you're making decisions based off of what you know today and then what you think will happen in the future. And I think we're all in agreement that the future surprises us. It certainly has surprised us this year. If we take the COVID-19 pandemic aside for a second and push it aside and talk about just the enterprise user as a whole, what are some of the other challenges you see those companies facing today as they think about their IT infrastructure and how to make decisions quickly? What are some of the pain points? I mean, you and Cyxtera, you have thousands of customers. What are some of the challenges you see them experiencing today?
Yeah, it's interesting that you say that, because there's a laundry list of challenges that, as we formed the company, we began to think about all of our enterprise customers that are faced with very similar challenges right now. I mentioned some of them: the shrinking CapEx budget, the legacy aging infrastructure, the driver to the hybrid IT strategy leaves many enterprise with skills gaps and very complex solutions. And then we have instances, and COVID presented a unique. I almost want to say a microcosm, but it's so much larger than that, of issues that they've had that are. They're highlighting these challenges as customers are looking at alternatives and new solutions. The fear of getting locked into that because the future is changing so rapidly, and how do they get what they need without sacrificing their core tenets of being able to deliver on their own IT strategy? And so the flexibility, the agility, the speed to market, those things are challenges IT and enterprise IT leaders have always had, and now we're seeing a heightened renewal of those challenges and seeing them in a slightly different light, and making us acutely aware of these are problems that you don't have 18, 24 months to solve. These are things that they're having to solve now, and so that's part of what we think about on a daily basis is how do we deliver in that more flexible and agile manner to support what enterprises are going through in these types of challenges. Yeah,
and it's so good because the tension that has been in our industry for so long around companies that have to deploy a lot of capital on the front end to make decisions that over time, whether it's technology refreshes, business climate changes, whatever those things might be that make whatever that solution was obsolete, no longer relevant. I think Cyxtera and other companies that are really looking at, hey, how do we provide a more flexible solution that allows our customers more agility and the ability to flex when they need to, I think will certainly resonate with the market. And I would imagine that that's providing some really interesting discussions with customers that you all have today.
Absolutely. Yeah. We see it day in and day out.
Let's talk about the portfolio as a whole with Cyxtera. Obviously a majority of it is here in the U.S., but you certainly have a presence in Europe as well. What do you see as kind of from a product perspective and sitting in the role that you are in today? How do you make sure you're tailoring your products to meet, whether it's the market by market demand or where you're seeing different maybe sectors more focused, if it's the healthcare industry or the financial services industry? How are you evaluating how to present those products based on the market, the country, et cetera?
Yeah, so Enterprise IT has some core foundational similarities across industries. So across verticals and across markets, we do spend quite a bit of our time taking a look at who our customers are in each market that we're evaluating. So like you said, we're in 29 global markets, right, across North America, Europe, and Asia. And so what we're spending time on is really getting a better understanding of who our customers are and who the customers that we can serve in a given market are with our collection of products and services. So really looking at the entire portfolio, really understanding those challenges on a market by market basis. And we do see different challenges for North American markets versus Asia Pacific markets. We see the timelines are different, even if we see similar challenges that they face. So we spend a lot of time really digging into the problems that we discover in each of those target markets, and then really get a better understanding of how we solve for those and what do we need to build or bring to market to address that. So it really is just a deep dive on that customer to really we want to, I think it's part of our culture that we are have a level of intimate understanding and familiarity with our customers and their problems, and so we really invest quite heavily in ensuring that that's something that is top of mind for us in our when we are doing our own product development, or whether we're doing mapping out architecture to assist customers in their journeys. And we go market by market, right? We've got a great team around the world that helps us be side by side with our customers as they go through it, and that is what we ingest into our roadmap to ensure that's what we're bringing to market for them.
Yeah, you've been in the industry now for 15 years. I mean, what gets you excited about the future? And obviously, we're in a very unique time period right now. But as you think about the next 1, 5, 10 years in this industry, what's the most exciting thing for you to keep moving forward?
I think at its core, the next 3 to 5 years are going to be game changing for the industry. We've been on a trajectory of change and driving innovation in this space, and the world has changed since the day that we were trying to educate people about cloud and what that meant, and that it wasn't nefarious. And I think it's so critical to understand how a data center provider, when there are only a handful in the market who truly have a global platform, how we evolve over the next 3 to 5 years based on how our enterprise customers are being challenged to evolve. And there's so little runway to get there, and we've been on a trajectory, and now there's a renewed evaluation of what we're doing and how we're doing it. And so we're on the precipice of major change in the enterprise, which necessarily means for us as well. So it's really going to be an exercise in the next 3 to 5 years of moving at breakneck speed, ensuring that we're bringing to bear our innovative capabilities, and ensuring that we're solving the new challenges and the new problems that our customers are facing on a regular basis at an accelerated pace. So I'm really excited about being able to deliver the cutting edge and make sure that that's something that resonates with customers who their lives are changing, and so we're that's for us and the industry as a whole to ensure that we're there. And so I think it's a really exciting time to be in this space.
You bet. Russell, thanks so much for taking time to talk on this discussion. Really appreciate it, and your background is really interesting. Excited to see what you and the rest of the Cyxtera team is going to do over the next few years, and look forward to the next time we get to chat. So thanks again. Look forward to seeing you soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.